Here's a thing that kills more assisted living campaigns than anything else. Operators spend months building their ads, launching them, watching the clicks roll in, and then thinking they're doing great because they have 1,000 impressions or 100 conversions. But here's what nobody tells you. None of that fills beds. You want to be measuring costs per qualified inquiry, not cost per click or cost per impression. And if you're still using vanity metrics like reach or engagement as your North Star, you're just spinning your wheels. This is Assisted Living Paid Ads Marketing, the show about running paid social like the machine it actually is. I'm Mikey, and today we're doing the single highest leverage 30 minutes in this entire business. Cost per inquiry, the only metric that matters. The core idea here is simple but brutal. In senior care, you don't make money from clicks or views. You make money when families call, fill forms, book tours, or text for information. That's your pipeline. That's your ROI. And every one of those conversions needs to be tracked, logged, and linked back to the ad that drove it. A qualified inquiry is a lead with the highest probability of becoming an admission or service request, not just someone who saw something on Instagram. If you're not tracking those calls, forms, texts, or calendar bookings as conversions, you're flying blind, and your cost per inquiry number is worthless. Here's how to do it right. Step 1. Define what a qualified inquiry means for each care line in your business. Assisted living, memory care, rehab, home care. It's not the same for everyone. For rehab, it might be a call that includes the patient's name and discharge date. For assisted living, it could be a form with complete contact details and a tour request. No one size fits all here. Step 2. Set up your tracking. You've got to instrument every possible conversion point, form fills, phone calls, text messages, and calendar bookings. That's what gets logged as a conversion in your platform. Step 3. Use dynamic call tracking, not optional, not an afterthought. A daughter calling about her father's discharge tomorrow isn't filling out a form. If you're not tracking those calls, they don't count. You're losing half of your pipeline. Step 4. Integrate all that tracking with your analytics suite so everything is visible in one place. Meta Business Suite, Google Analytics, HubSpot, all tied together. Step 5. Calculate your target cost per inquiry using this formula, LTV divided by close rate. That's how much you can spend per lead and still be profitable. Once you've got that number, it becomes the single metric that governs everything. The takeaway is one rule. Cost per inquiry is your North Star. Every campaign, every ad group, every creative decision must be tested against it. If a campaign beats your CPI target, you scale it. If it misses, you fix it or pause it. Never, ever optimize for anything else. Not clicks, not impressions, not even views. Here are the mistakes people make every day and what they cost you. First, skipping call tracking is the single biggest reason people think Meta or Google isn't working. Families don't fill out forms in this industry, they call. Without a system that logs those calls as conversions, you're flying blind on roughly half your real pipeline. Second, focusing on vanity metrics like reach or likes instead of conversions is just wasting money. You don't need 100,000 impressions if none of them convert. Third, not updating your CPI target when your LTV or close rate changes means you're optimizing for outdated goals. Fourth, ignoring negative keywords costs you clicks and money from irrelevant traffic. Fifth, failing to test everything regularly means you're just guessing, not learning. And if you're running the same campaign week after week without iteration, you're probably just burning budget. So here's how it goes in one loop. Define your qualified inquiry, track every conversion path, set your CPI target using LTV and close rate, then test everything against that number. That's what drives actual results. If this earned its 30 minutes, the full system is inside the course at learn.mikey.ai. I'm Mikey. Go look at what's already working. Let me go deeper on a few things here because it's not just about checking boxes, it's about precision. Defining qualified inquiries with exactness. You've got to build a clear definition for each care line in your business. That's not just a checkbox. That's about understanding what behavior means. Intent. For example, in memory care, maybe a lead who asks how long the transition process takes or wants to know about staffing ratios, that's different from someone just browsing. In rehab, a call where they mention discharge date and also want to know about rehab services, that's a high intent sign. To make this real, use a lead scoring system. Not every inquiry is equal. Assign point values like a phone call, 5 points, form with full contact, 3 points, calendar booking, 2 points, click to text, 1 point. This helps prioritize your efforts and focus on the ones that are more likely to turn into admissions. When it comes to setting your CPI target, don't guess. That's where your LTV and close rate come in. Estimate how much a resident is worth over their stay, say $36,000 if they spend 18 months at $2,000 a month. Then determine what percentage of inquiries end up becoming tours or admissions, maybe 20%. So your formula is $36,000 divided by .20 equals $180,000. That's your theoretical maximum. You might want to set a more realistic target, maybe half that number depending on your budget and how aggressive you want to be. Then there's tracking precision. Every single path that leads to a qualified inquiry must be logged, whether it's through a form, a phone call, a text message, or even an email link clicked from a calendar invite. That means dynamic call tracking needs to be in place not just for paid ads, but for any traffic source. Your analytics platform needs to reflect everything from Meta to Google to HubSpot. If you're not seeing all those calls and form submissions as conversions, then your data is misleading, and so are your decisions. When a campaign beats your target CPI, scale it up fast. That's not luck. That's proof it works. When it exceeds the number, diagnose quickly. Look at CTR, CPC, conversion rates. Is it a creative issue or targeting problem? Don't wait until it's too late. Pause underperforming campaigns before they waste more budget than they bring in. One big pitfall many people miss is how important call tracking really is. You can't afford to leave that out because most high-intent families are calling, not clicking forms. If those calls aren't logged, then your CPI number becomes a phantom. Another one, focusing too much on vanity metrics like reach and likes. These give you feelings, but they don't fill beds. You need actual results, not engagement scores. Don't forget to adjust your CPI targets over time. Your business changes, so should your goals, and always be testing and iterating. A campaign that's working today might not work next month, and if you're not checking and adjusting, you're just burning money. This isn't a one and done thing. This is about creating systems that keep improving, that keep driving qualified leads to the door. That's what makes your marketing profitable. If this earned its 30 minutes, the full system is inside the course at learn.mikey.ai. I'm Mikey. Go look at what's already working.